Hello, aspirants! Welcome to this special explainer from Rungta IAS Academy. I'm Mr. Sharma, and I'm joined today by my colleague, Ms. Iyer. Greetings, everyone. Today, we've got a fantastic, highly scoring topic for your General Studies Paper 2. We are diving straight into the International Relations segment to decode the recent Beijing breakthrough, specifically the outcomes of the 35th WMCC meeting. Absolutely, Ms. Iyer. Whenever India and China sit down for border talks, the entire UPSC ecosystem really needs to pay close attention. We're going to analyze this today not just for your prelims facts, but with a sharp analytical focus for your mains exam and, of course, the personality test. So grab your notebooks and let's get right into it.
So, taking a look at this official photograph of the Indian and Chinese delegates at the 35th WMCC meeting in Beijing, just notice the environment here, aspirants. In diplomacy, the optics matter immensely.
They really do. According to our Ministry of External Affairs, the MEA, both sides reviewed the border situation and actually expressed satisfaction over the progress made. They officially described these discussions as constructive and forward-looking.
Right. And here is a crucially important phrase you literally must jot down for your mains copy: gradual normalization of bilateral relations. Both sides acknowledge that keeping peace and tranquility in the border areas is contributing directly to this normalization. Using this exact terminology shows the examiner that you're completely updated with the official MEA stance.
All right, moving on to Section 1, the delegations in Beijing, key figures.
Knowing exactly who represents India at these high-level talks is an absolute must for your interview stage. The board loves to test your awareness of the key diplomatic personnel handling sensitive portfolios like East Asia. So, our Indian delegation was led by Mr. Sujit Ghosh, the Joint Secretary for East Asia in the MEA.
And on the other side of the table, the Chinese delegation was headed by Ms. Hou Yanqi. She is the Director General of the Boundary and Oceanic Affairs Department over at the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Oh, and there's a very important sideline development to note here as well. On the margins of this visit, Mr. Ghosh also met with Lu Jinsong, the Director General of Asian Affairs, and called on the Chinese Assistant Foreign Minister Hong Lei. These continuous multi-level engagements really show us the sheer depth of the diplomatic effort that's currently underway.
Okay, Section 2, Core Agenda. Let's unpack some of this diplomatic jargon.
We all know that reading an MEA press release can sometimes feel like you're navigating a maze of dense diplomatic jargon. So, in this explainer, our job is to unpack that language into clear, crisp points that you can directly reproduce in your mains examination.
Exactly. These 4 pillars on your screen represent the consensus discussed to actually implement the decisions from previous rounds of talks.
Right. So number 1 is boundary delimitation, which is the actual drawing of the borders. Number 2 is border management, meaning how they handle the day-to-day situation on the ground.
Then we have mechanism development and building. This ensures there are structured ways to resolve disputes before things escalate. And finally, cross-border communication and cooperation. Aspirants, if you get a question on Sino-Indian border resolution mechanisms, listing these 4 exact points will definitely fetch you strong marks.
Let's look at Section 3, India's crucial request regarding transborder rivers. Now, this is where we seamlessly bridge your IR syllabus with your geography syllabus. Water security is a paramount geopolitical theme right now, and India made absolutely sure to bring it to the table in Beijing.
They did indeed. The Indian side explicitly stressed the need for an early meeting of the expert-level mechanism on transborder rivers.
Aspirants, listen closely. This right here is your X-factor point. While thousands of other students will just write about the border and the military standoff, mentioning this transborder river mechanism proves to the examiner that your preparation is truly multidimensional. It highlights that this dispute isn't just about land territory. It's intricately tied up with hydrological data sharing and ecological security.
Which brings us to Section 4, the road ahead and the diplomatic continuum.
A mature UPSC aspirant never views these meetings in a vacuum. Diplomacy is a continuum, it's an ongoing process. And this timeline is exactly how you should structure your answers to show that you grasp the bigger picture.
Spot on. The foundation for these recent talks was actually the consensus reached during the 24th round of Special Representatives, or SR talks.
Correct. The 35th WMCC meeting, the event we are looking at today, acts as the implementation body. They are basically executing the decisions that were made by the SRs. And looking to the future, both sides have actively agreed to prepare for the 25th SR talks, which are also going to be held in China. So think of it like this. The WMCC lays the essential groundwork, and the SRs take the high-level political decisions. It's a continuous rolling loop of diplomatic and military-level exchanges.
We'll conclude our analysis today with a really powerful shared sentiment. Both ministries acknowledge that lasting peace and tranquility in the border areas are actively contributing to the gradual normalization of bilateral relations.
And this brings us to a thought-provoking question for your mains practice, dear aspirants. With all these continuous engagements, are these mechanisms like the WMCC and the SR talks actually sufficient to secure a permanent border resolution, or do they merely manage the status quo?
It's a great question. Think critically about this, write down your structure, and maybe even discuss it with your peers. Thank you so much for joining us in this explainer from Rungta IAS Academy. Keep studying hard, and we will see you in our next topic analysis.